Has Ole Miss found their new offensive line coach? Well, they definitely have a guy in mind, and a guy they want pretty bad. His name is John Garrison, offensive line coach at NC State. Now, Ole Miss did lose their offensive line coach a couple days ago. Coach Jake Thornton announced he's going to Auburn to be the Auburn offensive line coach. So Ole Miss is searching. Ole Miss is in need of a new offensive line coach. Now, reports came out today, and don't know if this is true, but the reports did come out today that Coach John Garrison is our top candidate. Now, if Ole Miss offers him a job, we'll see. And if he does accept the job, we'll see about that as well, too. But I will say this, definitely keep your eye on this guy for sure. There's definitely a chance that, hey, Coach Garrison may be your next offensive line coach at Ole Miss. And I will say right now, if Ole Miss can get this guy to be the offensive line coach at Ole Miss, this would be an amazing home run out of the ballpark type of hire. When you look at this guy's resume and what he's done throughout the years, wherever he's been, this guy is a winner, good recruiter. You look at a bunch of stats for QB stats a while, rushing yards per game, passing yards per game, and rushing yards on the season, passing yards on the season. You look at a bunch of stats, and I won't go through all the stats, but there is a bunch of years, and basically every year that, hey, there's some years in the top 10 for some of these stats, top 20, top 25. And what I realized pretty quick is, hey, this guy's consistent, and he can show he can win, he can show he can recruit and do a good job no matter where he's been. But this guy, he did play his college days back in Nebraska, also was a coach in Nebraska for a little bit as well, too. Was at FAU under Kiffin as the offensive line coach there in 2018. He was at UNLV for a short time as well, too. And now, I believe, this is his fourth year at NC State, I believe. Not too sure about that, but I do believe this is his fourth year. But just kind of a couple of random stats and information right quick. Now, I'm sure some of y'all probably remember NC State had a lineman, offensive lineman, Okono. He went 6th overall to the Panthers last year. First round, pick 6 to the Panthers. Amazing offensive lineman. And even this year, they had 3 guys selected by PFF, well, 3 offensive linemen named all conference, which is still kind of crazy to think about it. You lost your best offensive lineman last year, one of the first guys taken in the draft, and then this year you still have 3 guys selected all conference. That is ridiculous, man. It really is. But I know a bunch of stuff is just kind of random, but even back in 2018 when he was at FAU under Kiffin, they were 14th in the country in sacks allowed, led the Conference USA in rushing. And of course, Ole Miss fans know we have some good running backs. Ole Miss loves running the football. And guess what? Every year, no matter where this guy's been at, this is a team that has a bunch of rushing yards. But even back in 2018, at FAU, they were averaging 241.8 rushing yards per game. Back in 2017, when he was at UNLV, guess what? Top 15 in the country for sacks allowed. Top 25 in rushing yards on the season. And I know a bunch of stuff is kind of random. But even back in 2018, I think I saw a stat or something somewhere that he had over 12 or 13 offensive linemen in the NFL. Don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that is pretty impressive. Pretty ridiculous. Even back in 2013, I mean, this was, 9 years ago, 19th in the country in rushing yards, 23rd in sacks allowed. I mean, I'm trying to make this video short and sweet, but no matter what year you look at or what college this guy's been at, this guy has talent coming in every year. Guys drafted pretty high every year. Guys all conference every year. Once again, QB stats is pretty good stats. Top 10, top 20, 25 nationally. Rushing yards, passing yards per game. And you watch film, I mean, the offensive line is looking good, looking impressive, getting the gaps, and basically embarrassing defensive lines. Just from what I've seen on paper and reading stuff, watching film, if this hire does happen, I would be extremely happy for sure, without a doubt. But we'll see what happens here in the coming days or coming weeks or however long it takes for us to hire an offensive line coach. Of course, signing day is here in a couple weeks, so you're kind of hoping that, hey, you can have all your coaches hired or most of your coaches hired here in the coming days and coming weeks. But we'll see what happens there. But anyway, that is basically all I have for the video. So if you could please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, would be greatly appreciated. See y'all next video. Have a good one. Hardy tardy.